Hello student. Now we are discussion on redemption of preference shares. जैसे कि लास्ट लेक्चर में हमने ईशॉप शेयर्स के बारे में जानकारी ली। इसमें इंट्रोडक्शन ऑफ ईशॉप शेयर्स, डेफिनेशन ऑफ ईशॉप शेयर्स, शेयर्स कैपिटल ऑफ कंपनी, इसमें शेयर्स, स्टॉक, प्रेफरेंस शेयर्स, इक्विटी शेयर्स, रजिस्टर, नॉमिनल और ऑथराइज कैपिटल, इशू ऑफ कैपिटल, सब्सक्राइब कैपिटल, कॉल ऑफ कैपिटल, पेड अप कैपिटल, अनकॉल कैपिटल, रिजर्व कैपिटल। देन प्रोसीजर ऑफ इशू ऑफ शेयर्स, इसमें सबसे पहले प्रॉस्पेक्ट इशू किया जाता है, देन एप्लीकेशन ऑफ शेयर्स, देन अलॉटमेंट ऑफ शेयर। नेक्स्ट calls in arrears, calls in advance, forfeiture of shares which were issued at par, forfeiture of shares which were issued at premium, reissue of forfeiture shares, issue of shares for consideration other than cash. Now we are going on discussion next chapter of redemption ऑफ प्रेफरेंस शेयर्स। इसमें 7 कंटेंट्स दिए हुए। कंटेंट्स नंबर 1, इंट्रोडक्शन एंड डेफिनेशन ऑफ रिडम्पशन ऑफ प्रेफरेंस शेयर्स। सेकंड, क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ शेयर्स। थर्ड, रिडीमेबल ऑफ प्रेफरेंस शेयर्स। नेक्स्ट, लीगल प्रोविजन ऑफ रिडम्पशन ऑफ preference shares. Next, method of redemption. Next, redemption of out of profit including accounting entry, redemption out of fresh issue of shares. Now we are discussion point number 1, introduction and definition of redemption of preference shares. इसमें प्रेफरेंस शेयर्स इज अ शेयर्स विच कैरिड अ प्रेफरेंशियल राइट। इसमें प्रेफरेंस शेयर्स को प्रेफरेंशियल राइट रहता है एज अ रिगार्डिंग टू डिविडेंड एंड रीपेमेंट ऑफ कैपिटल दैट टाइम कंपनीज इज वाइंडिंग अप। नेक्स्ट, क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ प्रेफरेंस शेयर्स. The preference shares are classified into 3 categories. Category number 1, redeemable preference shares and irredeemable preference shares. Second, cumulative preference shares and non-cumulative preference shares. Third, participating preference shares and non-participating preference shares. 3 types of preference shares classified. First is redeemable preference shares. Redeemable preference shares are such shares of which the amount is returned to the shareholder. When a company issue preference shares and undertake to redeem after the specified period, such shares are called as redeemable preference shares. Redeemable preference shares are repayable after the expiry of stipulated period. Redeemable preference shares is repayable at the option of the company either at par or at premium. Legal provision of redeemable preference shares. The Indian Company Act makes the regarding to redemption of preference shares. Point number 1, no such shares shall be redeemed unless they are fully paid. Partly paid shares are not allowed to be redeemed. Point number 2, such shares shall be redeemed except point number 1, out of profit of shares of the company which would otherwise be available for dividend. Second, out of the proceed of fresh issue of shares made for purpose of redemption. In case shares are to be redeemed out of profit, a sum equal to the nominal value of shares should be transferred to a separate reserve called the capital redemption reserve account. Premium payable on redemption should be provided out of available balance of share premium account or profit and loss account. The capital redemption reserve fund may be applied by the company in paying up unissued shares of the company to be issued to members of the company as fully paid bonus shares. Next, method of redemption. Two methods of redemption of preference shares. First is redemption out of profit. Second is redemption out of fresh issue of shares. First is redemption out of profit. All types of profit can't be used for redemption of preference shares. The profit which would be otherwise available for dividend or revenue profit. Capital profit can't be used for redemption of preference shares. A sum equal to nominal value of shares redeemed must be transferred to capital redemption reserve account. Profit which are available for redemption or revenue profit included the part profit of loss account, credit balance, general reserve, reserve fund, sinking fund, dividend equalization fund, insurance fund, workman compensation fund. That's including revenue profit. Profit are not available for redemption or capital profit including number 1 share premium account, share forfeited account, profit prior and incorporation account, capital reserve, and last development rebate reserve. The redemption is carried out by using company bank balance, but in case of company is not having sufficient balance of bank, it can be raised the cash by selling investment or other current asset. Company can also raise the fund by taking bank overdraft. The accounting entries of redemption of preference shares. When transfer of profit to capital redemption reserve. First is profit and loss account or reserve account debit to capital redemption account. When providing for premium on redemption, that times entry profit and loss account or share premium account debit to premium on redemption account. When amount due on redemption, that time entries in the books redeemable preference shares capital account debit premium on redemption account debit to redeemable preference shares holder account. When for sales of investment, first is add book value, that time entries in the books bank account debit to investment accounting. When sales of investment at profit, that time entries in the books bank account debit to investment account to profit and loss account. When sales of investment at a loss, that time entries in the books bank account debit profit and loss account debit to investment account. When amount paid on redemption, redeemable preference shares account debit to bank account, that entry in the books. Next, redemption out of fresh issue of shares. As per section 81, a company may issue new shares and the prospects of the proceeds of this fresh issue of shares may be employed towards redemption of preference shares. The shares may be issued at par, at premium, at discount. If the shares are issued at premium, the amount of premium may be used for meeting the loss on account of premium on redemption. Accounting entries in the books of the companies. First, fresh issue at par. That time entries in the books of company bank account debit to share capital account. When fresh shares issue at a premium, that time entries in the books of the company bank account debit to share capital account to share premium account. When fresh shares issue at a discount, that time entries in the books of the company bank account debit discount on issue of shares account to shares capital account. When for provision of premium on redemption, that time entries in the books share premium account debit to premium on redemption. Next, amount due on redemption, redeemable preference shares capital account debit, premium on redemption account debit to redeemable preference shares. When amount paid on redemption, redeemable preference shares holder account debit to bank account. For we will show the problem for understanding. Problem number 1. Lakshmi company decided to redeem their fully paid 2000 redeemable preference shares of rupees 100 each at a premium of 5%. Lakshmi company decided fully paid 2000 redeemable preference shares and its shares price 100 each, and company issued shares at a 5% on premium. On the redemption, company's profit and loss account stood at the rupees 2,20,000. First is company's total fully paid redeemable shares is 2000. 2000 into 100 is equal to 2 lakh. First is entry profit and loss account debit 2 lakh to capital redemption reserve account 2 lakh. 2 lakh is equal to 2000 into 100 is equal to 2 lakh. Then second, profit and loss account debit 10,000 to premium on redemption 10,000. And third is redeemable preference shares capital account 2 lakh, redeemable on redemption account 10,000, total preference shares holder account 2 lakh 10,000. And last, redeemable preference shares holder account 2 lakh 10,000 and to bank account debit 2 lakh 10,000. Now we will discussion on redemption preference shares and the equity shares. Preference shares means preference shares carry preferential right over equity shares regarding the payment of dividend and repayment of capital. Fixed rate of dividend is paid to preference shareholder as compared to equity shareholder, and at the time of winding of the company they will be paid first means they have the preferential right to repayment of capital as compared to equity shareholder. Other side, equity shareholder have no such right special as a preference shares holder are enjoying. These are also known as ordinary shares. The rate of dividend is not the fixed on equity shares. These shares are entitled to dividend only after dividend is paid to the preferential shareholder. Share capital is that part of capital of company which is represented by the total nominal value of the shares which it has issued. In the context of the company law, in this term use the definition. For register nominal or authorized capital, it is the amount stated in the memorandum of association. The capital possessed by the company is only a portion of its capital. It means the face value of shares which the company authorized to issue by the memorandum of company, thus the registered nominal authorized capital are one the same. Thank you.